So we got people that want to talk to you, man. That's
okay,
pretty much.
Sure.
I don't know if you know this guy.
Oh, Matt Barnes.
We got Matt Barnes here, man.
Hey, Matt, what's up, man?
How you guys doing, man?
Good morning, man. Good morning, Matt. Thank you for tapping in.
We have media mogul Matt Barnes.
He out here with all the smoke.
Yes.
Hey, big fan, Coach. I mean, I love what you guys did. Obviously, I binge watched that in maybe a day and a half. Just the other day, I got off, and as soon as I did, I put a post out on meeting, man. But love what you did. I was so impressed on how you kept your energy up without cussing. Like you did a hell of yelling, coaching, but not one cuss word. That was very impressive.
Yeah. I did bang one time. I was like, cuz, but
you did say cuz. I'm like, but they spelled it the wrong way anyway. So I'm like,
the wrong way, so I was good. Hey, but you know what? Like I said, man, I said if I'm gonna go in hard, just like you. To me, Matt, you was an underdog. You was in the league because you was talented. You was hell of a talented.
It was hard.
It was all hard. It's a few guys who I know in the league, man. They had longevity because they had heart and they was tough.
Yep.
And so you go in hard, and I feel like me as a believer, I'm gonna go in hard as a believer. I was like, all right, because I'm gonna try to win at everything. You know what? I'm gonna make sure that they know that I'm a true believer, and I don't want anybody to be offended. I don't want anybody to say, well, man, he said he a Christian, but he ain't doing this. And that's what's wrong with our faith right now, man. That's what's wrong with it's the hypocrisy, not just in our faith, but in what maybe leaders do. And I want not even with our faith, man, but even as a coach. Guys will say, hey, you guys got to get in here on time. Well, if I ain't on time, that's hypocrisy. So I'm making sure I'm there. If I'm mopping the floor, if ain't nobody did it, I'm making sure if there's no hypocrisy. And you see in our coach Rob and everybody, there's no hypocrisy. And that's what I think the biggest thing is, and it's not just about the cursing. It's just being an example to say, if I said I'm this, if I said I'm going to do it, that's what's going to happen. And I think that's where the respect from the players come from.
Well, I think why you led by example, and it seemed like kids at that level really need that example and that mentorship. I think you walk that fine line of letting them know how you feel, getting in their ass when needed, but then also being able to pull them off to the side and talk to them and really let them know you care. And I think that means a lot because I know as a former player, you were a former player, the confidence. Your coach is everything. So you can be a talented player, but if you're in and out of the lineup or sometimes, just aren't going right, you'll go in that dark tunnel. And it seemed like sometimes that's what some kids on your team would do. But I think you and your staff did a good job of, even though you get on their ass, you could pull them back in. Like basically at the end of the day, I'm getting on you because I love you. Like if I'm not you, that's the problem. Like when coaches don't talk to players, usually that player's not going to have a short shelf life. But if I'm on your ass every day, yelling at you, encouraging you to get better, it's only because I care.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And it makes a difference on the court, don't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you got to think like, my career took maybe 4 years in the NBA to get off the ground because I finally ran into a coach in Don Nelson in Golden State with that We Believe team that believed in me. Like, it's like, I don't care if you miss a shot, go out there and miss another one. Just play hard. You know what I mean? So my whole my career, and now even when I coach my kids, I don't care about mistakes. I don't care about missed shots. All I care about is you play hard, and then you can take the shots that you work on. Offense is so free-flowing now that it's hard to kind of put a restriction because my kids are only 12. But I tell them, you work your ass off and play defense. I don't mind whatever shot you take. I don't mind the turnovers that come. I don't mind the mistakes that come, but make those mistakes going hard. And I think you're on that same length with your players.
Hey, Matt, do you have any coaches other than Don Nelson that Coach Mosley kind of reminded you of when watching Last Chance U?
Let me think. I mean, I played for some great ones. I got a chance to play for Phil Jackson, got a chance to play for Nelly. I played for Rick, who's just got a Hall of Fame inductee. I played for a lot of good coaches, and I wouldn't say really reminds me of them from a day-to-day standpoint, but just an understanding of, there's a time I got to be a coach and the authority figure, but then at the same time, I can also be a shoulder to lean on. And like I said, I think at that JUCO level, that's super important because obviously all those kids are talented, but there's just been struggles off the court that have kind of got them messed up and trying to find it on the court. So I think that's that important line. And Coach Mosley touched on that. Like I said, he did a lot of yelling and got his point across, but there were several times on the show where you'd see pull the guys off to the side and have these real conversations with them, get the guys smiling and let them know that there's a lot of love there. It's just coaching that's coming out most of the time.
Yeah, that's good, man.
We're going to let them know, man, from jump. We're going to let them know. and I love to go into guys who, feel like they finna come run the show. Like, nah, bro, I'm finna get on you just like everybody else.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm gonna pour and I'm gonna take a look. I'm gonna be like, hey, what's going on in your life? What's happening? So they know that I care. And then they respond, like you said, Matt. If you know what's going on, if you understand them. One of my favorite moments that wasn't in the show, I got two. I got two. One was with Deshaun. One was with Joe. We were playing a game, and you'll see Joe was about to get into a fight or altercation. The guy hit him, and he turns around. That's in there. Joe goes to the bench. They didn't show the interaction after the bench. So just as I get on you hard and go crazy, I'm gonna celebrate you to the max, bro. So he goes to the bench and we kind of pull him back. We had a big separation in the lead. I'm like, hey, Joe, man, they coming to get you. The police is behind you.
The boys behind you.
Yeah, that was one piece of what I said. But I said I was going in like, I was like, Joe, man, forget that. I said, man, you a 4-star. You Joe Hampton. Da-da-da-da-da. Everybody say, yeah, you Joe. And we was going off. Everybody on the bench was going. We were celebrating him, and then he started smiling and all that,
Right.
But to put it together for the show, I guess they had to, they still wanted to keep that moment there. But man, we was celebrating him, and that was a good time on the bench, just to let him know I love him. And then he'll come the next day and he'll pout, and then I got to reel him back in. And it's, hey man, but where was he gonna go? Right. If I put him out, it was a wrap. It was done.
What was your second moment then? What was the second moment you say you want to share?
Second moment I share that was not on was Deshaun. We were in San Diego. We had won a tournament. And for whatever reason, everybody's family came down to San Diego because I think it was around Christmas. They came down to San Diego and we had won the tournament. I think the team was ranked, so it helped us in our rankings. And so we ended up being in the top 5. And so we all celebrated. Hey, we in the locker room. Sean is leading the celebration and all that. I think his girlfriend was out of town. But everybody's family was here. Sean had no family there, right? So, but we wouldn't, and nobody even thought about it. He was like, "Yeah, coach, da-da-da-da." We in the van, so us coaches got to drive. Coach Rob driving the van. I'm driving another. We in the vans like this, and I'm like, "Man, where's Sean at?" And I'm looking around, and then I look, and Sean is walking behind the van, crying like this, and I'm looking, oh shoot! I said, man, who died now, man? I said, man, because he lost his dad, he lost his mom in 2 years. So I get out the van, the door open, ding, ding, and I leave it on. The vans are running. We ready to go. He walking in circles and crying. It's dark, it's cold. And then he just looked at me and he just bawling. Because Deshaun is, hey, Matt, Deshaun is like, man, he don't care. He finna,
I seen it.
I'm guarding whoever. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That light-skinned fire was like, Deshaun, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That light-skinned, high yellow fire, he fiery, he crazy, right? He's to the max. Yeah. And so Deshaun is like, so to see him crying, I'm like, okay, this is devastating. Something's going on. So I walk out, and the players, they on their phones in the car. They just kind of wait. And I say, Deshaun, you good? What's up? And that fool just literally was just like, and he was sick too at the time. I ain't gonna say what I thought he had, but hey, that's what it was. Back then, didn't nobody know what it was.
It was early symptoms.
It was early. It ran through the team, And so he just fell on me, and he's just like, and he's crying. And he's like, and he was bawling. I was like, dang, what up, Sean? What? And he said, Coach, I just wanted to talk to her. He said,
talking about his mom.
He said, I just want to talk to her, Coach. He said, I just got questions. I got questions. I need her right now. I got questions. Because he's trying to manage all his mom's stuff. She just passed and all that. And, I had to help him get lawyers and all that. And I just want to talk to her. I just want to talk to her, Coach. And I said, dude, you could talk to me. And then we went through the thing. And then I told him, I said, dude, you mine forever, bro. Don't worry. You mine forever. And so that fool was like, okay. And then his Matt Barnes came back. He wiped the face off. He got in the van and he started being a jerk again.
That's tough. I lost my mom at the beginning of my 2008 season. Literally, like November 1st, she was diagnosed with cancer, died November 27th. So within 20 days at the beginning of the 2008 season, I lost my mom, and that shit is tough, man. I relate just the overall story because, similar to Joe, I went to UCLA, our athlete drafted, but then cut and went to the D League, and that shit is humbling. You got that grind. Like I think some kids come into JC like, yo, I'm better than this, but at the same time, there's a reason why you're here. And D League, I'm better than this, but there's a reason why I was here, and that shit was the battery in my back. Like I know I see this. With all due respect, I don't want to be no part of it, and that was the grinding moment. I grinded, then got on with the Clippers and made a 14-year career out of it. But I just, man, great job, big fan of you. Tell the dudes I said what's up, and man, best of luck. And Fuzz, connect us because I'll come mess with you guys in some of my off time. Come check out.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll make sure they're connected. Done deal.
All right.
Thank
Much
you, Matt,
love,
for
Matt.
tapping in for
Appreciate
FAQ.
you, bro.